We do have something, like I said, we are bringing back, we did a couple years ago on the podcast, but now a little more refined, maybe a little different. We got the road to the Super Bowl. We're going to go through, each team, stars that they still have on their team from last season, some moves they made this offseason, I guess some pros and some cons. So, I guess reasons to why, you could up their chance of making the Super Bowl and the opposite.
Yeah.
And then their opponents. I have all of their home and away opponents as well. But we're going to start with the AFC West today, Devin. We're going to go through each division every episode when it obviously when Road to the Super Bowl seems fitting. And we're going to start with the runner-ups to last year's Super Bowl. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs, Devin. Now, when I just ask you, like off the rip, maybe each team we do this. It's like just like before we go into it at all. It's like when you think Kansas City's road to the Super Bowl. What do you think?
Cheating.
Okay, and that's it. Cheating and cheeseburgers.
Cheating and cheeseburgers.
Cheating and cheeseburgers. Now, okay. The great thing is, that's why we have this segment, because we could have just stopped there and said cheating and cheeseburgers.
True.
And that's it. But, I guess to get a little more into the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, Patrick Mahomes, the biggest star in the world, the biggest football player in the NFL, is Patrick Mahomes. Now, the problem is his, like, off year, or, like, meh year,
was putting them in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, losing in the Super Bowl with like a trash lineup that just kept getting hurt almost every week. Travis Kelce obviously returning. You got Rashee Rice returning from injury. Xavier Worthy, Isaiah Pacheco, Hollywood Brown. If you're however much stock you have in Hollywood at this point.
Maybe Tyreek Hill.
Some people on the other side of the ball, obviously Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, they were able to re-sign Trent McDuffie. They got some boys that are still there. They got some ballers that are still there. Some moves they made. So the Kansas City Chiefs traded away Joe Thuney. That really confused the shit out of me. Now, they did pick up Jalen Moore. I don't know if you're familiar with Kansas City, San Francisco guard. They brought him over to obviously fill that role. So I guess that's okay, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, they haven't made that many moves. They replaced Joe Thuney, and I guess one of the moves that, like, made me kind of think a little bit was the fact that they decided to keep, like, Juju over D-Hop.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to, push any narrative, no matter, like, how I feel about either one of them. But I don't know what that says, if that says anything. Like, it could be something as simple as money, or truly, it's like how much you value someone like Juju over D-Hop.
I mean, I honestly think it, like, from a production standpoint, I'm not sure how far off they are. Like, Juju, for all of who he is, has not been that bad as a Kansas City Chief. And again, I think that they know that they're able to produce with anybody. And they don't necessarily need someone like a D-Hop who's aging out and maybe was too much money for them or whatever.
But still, it's just when I think about, like, if you had a lineup of, like, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and D-Hop.
Yeah.
That's still, like if you can give me a full, healthy season of D-Hop, because like I said, it's like, I still am curious, like, looking back, like, what would it look like if D-Hop had an offseason, a training camp with Patrick Mahomes?
With Patrick Mahomes, yeah.
It's like, how different would that, how much different would that look? There is a world where I think it might, like, he might have been a lot more, I don't know. I think it'd be a way different outcome if he had a training camp with Patrick Mahomes.
Well, no, he gets one with El Freaky.
Well, he gets a training camp with Lamar Jackson, so I mean, I'm
Not that fucking bad.
no, I'm not mad about it, but we'll see. It's just I don't know how much he'll be utilized with Baltimore in comparison to Kansas City. To be completely honest with you,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think if, again, like you said, he had a whole training camp with him, he'd be just about wide receiver 1 for that team.
And we're looking at last season because I think if he came into training camp with Patrick Mahomes last year, he would be a Chief going into next season.
Yes.
And it would not be a Juju, which is why it's kind of confusing because it's like what Juju can do. Why not try a training camp with D-Hop? It's like
could have been money. I mean,
like
it could have been D-Hop wanting to be a Raven.
Sure, but you fucking had your chance when you were in your prime. You were still in your prime and you had your chance. I mean,
well, who the fuck doesn't want to be a Tennessee Titan, brother?
We got 2 tight ends we're looking at before D-Hop. They got an aged-out Travis Kelce. We got Zay Flowers and Rashad, who we clearly want to be our starting 2 wide receivers. They got Rashee Rice, who's coming back from injury, and Xavier Worthy, who are obviously both going to be put above D-Hop, but fuck, they're a fucking bad tackle from their own quarterback away from being sent to the IR. I mean, it's just and the shit that Xavier Worthy got going on now, he's suing that chick. It's like, who knows if his mind's even in the game right now. It's like, you gotta hope so, bro. But in 2025, it's like any offseason shit might just fuck around and ruin your whole season. I mean, it's just it doesn't have to be some bad shit like Deshaun Watson, but it's just just I don't know, whatever. I think off-season shit can obviously affect things, but or off the field shit can affect things. But from what I've said, we talked about the moves they made. Yes, Juju over D-Hop, but to me, I would say their biggest cons or roadblocks, whatever you want to call it, contenders, like Baltimore and Buffalo are just getting better.
Yeah.
It's not like they've made like super stagnant moves or anything this offseason.
Well, yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, they have some reason. They're fairly confident in the younger squad that they're building around Mahomes. I honestly think that Rashee Rice will be very good with a full training camp, a full season.
But is he? But that's the thing. Is he coming back? Is he coming back 100% healthy day one?
I don't know.
That I know he's healthy. He's going to be healthy for next season. But is he taking limited snaps all summer? It's like I don't. And I could be talking out of my ass, but I truly don't know. I tried looking up his full status, and it was just.
But he had an ACL injury, no?
Yeah. What is that? Was that all it was?
Well, it was. You're gonna get suspended, then you get injured.
Rashee Rice. What was Rashee Rice's injury? Torn ACL. Okay, yeah. No. Tuesday to repair his LCL as well as his hamstring tendon.
Ooh.
Chiefs underwent surgery on Tuesday to repair his LCL as well as hamstring tendon. Okay, yeah.
This
I
Tuesday?
thought it was. No, it was whatever Tuesday it was.
Months ago. Gotcha.
But see, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't that sound obviously, like we said earlier, we're not doctors, but I feel like that's a little more tricky. Obviously, I mean, you got in a collision, multiple injuries. I mean, who knows? You might plant that knee and come down with multiple. I don't know. I don't want to. Like I said, I've never really heard of like.
What type of collision are we talking about?
See, that's the thing. Bro's been in some collisions. He's been in some collisions. Cars.
And his mother's a pirate.
Packages at the front door. All types of shit. Which is crazy. It's like, just call your son. What are you doing? Stealing Amazon packages. I mean, why?
It's like, it's the wildest fucking, like...
But I mean, it's like, your son's rich. Call your son. What do you...
What do you fucking think you're going to find in an Amazon package? People spending... thousands of dollars on Amazon fucking things.
What, a fucking makeup sponge? I mean,
It was Lord knows what it fucking was. It was cheap as shit. It was cheap garbage.
Either way, don't take people's packages. But like I said, KFC, shoot me in the face.
Kansas City.
The AFC is only getting
KFC.
better. The AFC is only getting better for Kansas City. So I mean, it's obviously contenders like I said, Buffalo and Baltimore are only getting better. Kelsey's clearly on a decline. And the AFC West itself is upgrading, which we're obviously going to talk about for certain teams. But I will say, if we're going to talk the cons, we got to talk the pros. They know how to win.
Do they?
They know how to win. They're the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, they're very good at winning.
Oh, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
And it's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
So whether you want to take
that's really the only team that we can look at and go, they just know how to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. However you want to interpret that,
wherever these wins come from, I'm not sure, but they know how to win.
When I say they're the Kansas City Chiefs, you kind of interpret that however you want. Yeah. Whether you take that and say, man, that's because they got Patrick Mahomes and they can win with anybody, or man, that's the Chiefs and they know how to win. Man, the refs love to see the Chiefs win. It's whatever, however you want to slice that pie, you could slice it however you want. I mean, you could do it Chuck E. Cheese style. I know you've seen them Chuck E. Cheese pizzas, all fucked up and mangled.
Oh, it's mangled, dude.
It's gross.
You would get that little skinny slice with all the holes in the bottom of it.
With all that being said, their opponents, you got obviously their AFC West opponents, Chargers, Vegas, Denver. But then they're also playing Houston, Indianapolis. This is all at home. Houston, Indianapolis, Philly, Washington, Baltimore, and Detroit.
Ooh.
Those are all the teams going to Kansas City next season.
Ooh.
And then
we get to play. That's sick, dude.
In Kansas City.
That's awesome.
That'd be an interesting primetime game.
That's a cool game.
That's a nice primetime game.
We're gonna lose.
Or the top game for what you want to call it, like a 4:00 game. If it's in Kansas City, have it at 4:00 over here, and it's just the game of the week on Fox or whatever.
Yes,
you could do something like that. Have Tom Brady commentate it, something like that. Who knows? Where he's just
Tom's blowing it in the booth.
And come on, bro. If
look at Edelman's reaction when I said that.
I think Tom would gas up JD more than he would Mahomes.
I've never seen Tom. Has Tom ever commentated a Chiefs game?
A Chiefs game?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, he did the Super Bowl, so
he definitely doesn't. Oh, he did.
So, yeah.
I'm not sure I listened to that though.
Yeah, I would say he's done a Chiefs game, but no, I think has he done a Washington game? That's the question.
Probably.
I would like to go back and see what
we're typically on Fox.
I want to go back and see what he said about JD. I'd be interested. No, but y'all are usually on Fox at 1.
Yeah, he's Fox at 4.
He's Fox at 4. He's primetime Fox at 4. So I need to go back and see if he's commentated for y'all. Away games, Dallas, Jacksonville, Giants, Tennessee. I'd say probably the biggest one, Buffalo. They got to go over to Buffalo and play them. Not the crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's split. The division, decent. I don't know how tough the division is truly going to be, but I mean, it could be split 3-3, 4-2, 5-1. I wouldn't be surprised at anything that honestly, no, 5-1, 4-2. They're not going 3-3 in their division. They're
not splitting shit with anybody.
Baltimore, Detroit, Washington, Philly all come into Kansas City. I will say they obviously have somewhat of an upper hand being able to play at home, but still, those are four monsters of a team.
Those are toughies.
And it's just if it's a world next season where they beat all 4 of those teams, we're gonna be sitting on this damn podcast going, well, it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. We know that.
They won on a blocked field goal.
So who's playing them? Who from the NFC is playing them in the Super Bowl this year? And it's going to be Week 8.
We volunteer as tribute.
But all right, scale from 1 to 10. We'll combine our 2. Give me your chances for them to make it back to the Super Bowl next year.
Can I do a decimal?
Sure.
9-8.
9-8? 9-8.
Like, yeah, like there's.
Woo. All right. I mean, that's like, you know what that is, right? That's like that. 9.8 out of 10.
It's about as high as it gets.
9.8 out of 10. Wow. I almost like don't even want to give mine because I want to bring that average down. But all right. All right. So 9.8 out of 10.
I mean, this is the Chiefs. This is the only team that I would put anywhere this high. Probably the only one with like a solid 9. I mean, I was thinking 9-2, but it's like, who's to say they won't make it back? They had a horrible year this year, and breezed into the fucking Super Bowl. Got moked on, but you know,
Okay.
to make the Super Bowl, sure.
So 9.8.
They've been in the
out of
AFC
10.
Championship for the past 6 years?
All right. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go with a clean 8.5. Simple 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to go solid 8.5.
8-5.
Well, we're talking 1 out of 32 teams to make it to the Super Bowl next year.
No, we're not.
You gave them a 98%.
No, we're not talking.
You gave
we're
them
not
a
talking,
98% chance.
Yeah.
You left 2% for all the other AFC teams to make it back to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You left a 2% chance for the Ravens and the Bills to duke it out to make it to the Super Bowl for the AFC.
Each of them get a percentage.
Fucking crazy. That is insane.
And then
Shout
the
out to
Bengals get like a.
But no, that's
What did the dog do?
nuts. No, my dog was over here making noise.
Nice.
So okay, which will bring us to a 9.15 out of 10.
I like
when we
that.
average it out. So
Which is
9
what-
point.
Like I was thinking 9-2.
Yeah, so about a 92. We rounded it up a 92% chance to make it back to the Super Bowl, which is a little bit better than 98, but still Whew. I'm really interested to hear the rest of these, just the rest of all these teams now. Now that I know.
Well, a lot of them are gonna be. Yeah, it does kind of put me in a weird spot for the rest of the AFC teams.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's completely okay. Don't even let that cloud any judgment.
I'm saying whatever I want.
Say whatever you want, Devin. It's fine. We're
The
talking
Raiders. Now, if you're shit,
Whoa.
like, I'm inclined to give out a few zeros.
Well, okay. Before we get to the Raiders, let's talk the Chargers.
Yes.
I think the Chargers are interesting. I think the Chargers, the more and more I look at the Chargers, besides their, lack of wide receiver pool, I really like the team.
Yeah.
All right, players returning. You got Justin Herbert. You got Bradley Bozeman. You got Khalil Mack. You got Ladd McConkey. You got, if he can figure out how to catch, you got Quentin Johnson.
Yep.
You got Joe Alt. You got Denzel Perryman still. They brought in Mike Will, like we talked about earlier. I guess we'll figure it out. I guess we're gonna find out if that's really maybe that's the receiver they wanted. Maybe look, Devontae's cool, D-Hop's cool, Cooper Kupp is cool. We want Mike Williams.
They want Mike Will. I mean, they honestly never needed to get rid of him.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was like one of DK's top spots.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure DK was like, I want to go.
Oh no, it was either LA or Pitt.
Yeah, no. He did not want to go to Pittsburgh at all.
Well, no, I think he was between getting traded to LA or Pittsburgh.
Oh, I was gonna say, you don't remember his wish list coming out?
Well, his wish list was a warm climate with a for sure quarterback.
Warm climate with a where their quarterback situation is figured out.
Yeah, exactly.
They sent bro to Pittsburgh and Mason Rudolph for now.
But that's the worst. That's not a bad cold place with no quarterback situation to go.
No,
that's the best cold place with no quarterback to go to.
And I'm pretty sure we said this, but no matter what, you're gonna end up playing in bad weather. You know,
Yeah, of
I mean,
course, it's something.
bad weather is bad
But I
weather.
mean, there's a place you have to live from the majority of the time, all summer.
Boo-hoo, you're
Summer you
rich.
get nice weather. And whatever.
I don't know. I can't feel bad for you making all that money. It's like, oh, I gotta live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I gotta put
Who?
a jacket on. Shut up.
Who? Fucking who?
Nobody who.
They brought over Mekhi Becton. Obviously, they got Conklin at tight end now. Brought over Najee Harris. Defensive side of the ball, Dante Jackson and Benji St. Juste.
Fuck that guy.
Nah, I fuck with it though. If they can figure it out, I mean, you still got Khalil Mack over there. You still got Denzel Perryman over there. I like it. I don't hate it. And still, I mean, Derwin James is an interesting person.
He's just Derwin James, dude.
He's just there. Like I don't really know.
He's there to lay some wood, and then the rest of the time it's just nothing.
He's probably gonna get burnt at some point.
Yeah.
Now, I guess they're cons. They got to play Kansas City. They're in Kansas City's division. It's the AFC West. They have no reliable wide receiver one.
Nope.
Mike Williams, don't think you can call him a reliable wide receiver one. Bringing in Ladd, his second year, I don't think you want to make him, your wide receiver one, or I don't think they can even consider him a reliable wide receiver one. And then I guess, see how I named all them defensive guys or whatever, but there's nothing you can really say about the Chargers defense. Even if you you just put aside their defense is bad or whatever you want to say. It's they don't really have a defensive identity.
No.
Especially now that Joey Bosa's gone, it's okay, so y'all aren't this team with a crazy pass rush or it's they're kind of just middle of the pack in everything kind of statistically, and I feel like they got that offensive side of the ball rolling right now, and if they can figure out some type of identity on that defensive side of the ball, they'll be pretty scary. I think they're probably the best. They're obviously the best contender in the AFC West to challenge the Chiefs.
Yeah. I do think that the Broncos are a few moves away though from
moves or
being
years.
Close. Huh?
Moves or years.
Maybe years.
I feel like it's years.
I think moves too. They do Sean Payton is their head coach.
Mm-hmm.
They're developing a quarterback. I think they're a decent running back and another decent receiver away from really competing with the Chargers.
I mean, shit, you were kind of on the money for when we talk about them in a few minutes, but yeah. And then I guess, the pros for the Chargers, they have an amazing O-line. If their O-line is not magnificent next season, football makes no sense. Bozeman, Mekhi Becton, Joe Alt, they should have their O-line should be great. Justin Herbert should have absolutely no reason to be even close to being touched next year. It's just hopefully he has a reliable receiver to throw to downfield.
Yes.
It seems like, and this is just obviously all speculation, it seems like they're confident without Bosa. They were okay with Bosa.
Yeah, no, they weren't throwing huge numbers at him or please don't leave or whatever.
Right?
Huh?
They released him, if I'm not mistaken. Joey Bosa was released.
Did they?
Yeah, I want to say yeah.
They must have.
I want to say Joey Bosa was released, and it was why was Joey Bosa released? Chargers announced they have released Joey Bosa on Wednesday. Yeah, he was released. So,
damn.
To me, that's
definitely asked for it, yeah.
To me, that's a confident move.
Just up and release him, and not be we're gonna trade you. Why didn't they trade him?
I don't know. Maybe
they wanted to give him free will.
You could have signed and traded. You could have signed and traded, bro. But I'm not too sure. And then the biggest thing that I think we'll have to ride with if we're gonna give them any chance to be contenders next season, it's got to be what we have been saying since the first week last season. Give the Chargers an offseason.
Yes.
We have been preaching that for literally 7 months.
The whole year.
The entire season we've been saying give them an offseason.
When Harbaugh came on, it was this is a 2 to 3 year team before they hit their peak.
It was like, yeah,
But then for
Harbaugh's
them to pop off and play well, last year, it was like, all right.
I feel like it's more like, yeah, it's like Jim it's just taking a little more time, and maybe just takes an off season for him to make this more of a Jim Harbaugh team.
Yeah.
Because he kind of came in and it was, because you got to think about it. It's like when we looked at like the move of like getting rid of Gus and J.K., it was like, well, why did you do that? Because, well, he didn't, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't make that move, right? That they were there before Jim, right?
What, bringing them on?
Who joined the
No, it was
Chargers?
no, it was Jim.
The Chargers signed Jim before, so Jim brought J.K. and Gus.
Yes.
Okay, so why? Why did he bring them over for a year then and get? Okay, Jim's really confusing me though.
Well, they just got Najee.
Well, I understand that, but it's because you got. But I'm obviously all these plans were, I think, in sync. I think it was, we're gonna get Najee and we're not gonna keep these fuckers. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, and it's like JK's gonna ask for money. Gus probably as well, and both of them are fairly injury prone.
I guess. Then I don't.
Somewhat productive,
I
but I
don't
mean,
know.
not
But
necessarily.
either way, I don't know why it felt like Jim got hired later in the offseason than he
No,
did.
it was, but it was weird because it was like, Jim gets hired, and then they bring on fucking his brother's running backs.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. It was a thing where he brought the Ravens Ravens backfield over.
And then Bradley Bozeman, and it's just like there's a lot of Ravens on that team.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, make the call. Like I said, there's a reason why Deontay Johnson ain't a Charger. It's because Jim went, yo.
I don't know if he'll be on another NFL team.
He will be. He'll end up somewhere. I'm sure he'll end up somewhere. All right. Obviously, their opponents, quite, fairly similar to Kansas City. They'll be playing Houston, Indianapolis, Philly, Washington, Pittsburgh, and Minnesota, all at home. And their away games, obviously, besides their AFC West opponents, they got Jacksonville, Tennessee, Dallas, the New York Giants, and Miami. So it could be pretty sweet. That, Jacksonville, Tennessee. Who knows how Dallas is going to look, even health-wise? I mean, not to put it on them, but there's a history of it. I mean, it's there. The New York Giants, I mean, that's a walk in the park. Miami, I mean,
probably a walk.
They could end up going 4-1 on the road, minus their AFC West opponents, obviously, but
yeah,
not the worst. They don't have to face Detroit or they don't have to face Baltimore or Buffalo. So I guess that's cool. But they do have to see Philly and Washington. Not as hard as a schedule as Kansas City. I don't.
Not even close.
Doesn't look like it to me. But if you had to go scale 1 out of 10.
Odds of a Super Bowl.
Chance to make it to the Super Bowl. Where are you putting them?
And this is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, we're not gonna assume they're making a move for Tyreek Hill. If Tyreek Hill is on this team, yeah, I think it might be a little bit different. But
I mean, it's difficult because this is a quarterback who's never won a playoff game.
Justin Herbert, help me out.
2022, they lost.
Herbert's rookie year.
19, 20.
No, shut up.
They beat y'all in 18 with Phillip Rivers.
2020? Dude, my mind is fucked.
I know.
Justin Herbert's only been in the league since 2020.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, all these fuckers seem like they all got drafted in 2018. I don't know what it is with 2018, but
it was Baker, Mitch, Lamar.
See, but it's like, to me, Baker got drafted 12 fucking years ago.
2016.
Dude, I don't even remember when Baker got drafted. Yeah. He's been in the league forever to me. Forever to me.
It feels like crazy. Herbert's been in the league forever. But no, in 22 they lost to the Jags. I don't think Herbert's ever won a playoff game. But either way, I think they have to get over the hump of winning playoff games. Harbaugh knows how to win, but it's a matter of turning this team, like you said, into a Harbaugh team, not a fucking Chargers wasteland. Um, I don't know where numbers was. It's so weird.
I'm gonna give them. Damn. It's like I'm gonna give them chances to make it to the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Chargers. 5.8.
Okay, good. I was gonna say 6-1.
6-1. We can go 6-1. I mean, if you can do the math quicker than Google, it'd be appreciated. But 11.9 divided by 2.
595.
595. You're a smart guy. You did it just about the same amount of time as AI. We'll see. We'll train you versus AI and see how you are in a couple years.
I'm not great with quick maths.
So 5.9.
I can beat AI in capitals though.
So a 59 point. That's hilarious. A 59.5% chance to make it to the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how they stack up as we go through the rest of the teams over the next couple episodes. All right, let's get them out the way. Vegas.
The Raiders.
Brock, Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins. They still got. They were made the trade for Geno. Made the move for Pete Carroll at head coach. They brought over Jeremy Chin. They brought over Devin White. No wide receivers. This offense sucks.
Yeah.
They have a QB, and they hired a head coach. Those are my pros.
Not a whiff of a running back. Not a whiff of a receiver.
Just draft Genty. Just draft, man. Just draft.
Then ruin his fucking career.
Yeah, just draft him. Besides that, obviously opponents, Giants, Dallas, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Cleveland, Chicago, Houston, Indianapolis, Philly, Washington, the Jets, and all their AFC West opponents. Scale from 0 to 10. What do you got?
It's low, dude.
Dude, it's like so low. I'm trying to figure out what's not a 0.
0.69.
Like what's like to me, like
saying what brings him off of a 0?
Yeah, like a 5% chance. Like is too high for me, you know?
You're right. That's a lot of percent.
Like a 5% chance. I don't think there's no way. Like it's almost a decimal.
0.0069.
0.5. A 0.5.
0. Yeah, 0.5.
2%. What about a solid 2%? I think a solid 2%. I mean, it's like
maybe.
Like, let's be real. We're being nice. It's a 0. If we want to be real, if we want to be truly honest with ourselves and the audience and the road to the Super Bowl, just ranking, it's a 0. We're putting a 0. 0 out of 10% chance for a road to the Super Bowl.
Like, no hope.
Absolutely no chance to make it to the Super Bowl next year.
Honestly, this might help with betting. People should bet on the Raiders.
There you go. Bet on the Raiders.
Put all your money on the Raiders.
Yeah, and then buy a fucking tent. All right. Denver, the last team of the AFC West. Obviously, the players that will be returning for the Broncos. You got Bo Nix, quarterback. Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims Jr., Alex Singleton returning from injury, and the current Defensive Player of the Year, PS2. They brought over Evan Ingram.
Is he good?
Is the Defensive Player of the Year good? Yeah, he's better than what Deion Sanders was. Evan Ingram was brought over. Dre Greenlaw was brought over. Evan Ingram, tight end.
I know.
Yeah, brought over. Dre Greenlaw brought over. You remember, say this name sounds familiar, another 49er, their safety, Hufanga. Hufanga, they brought over. So that defense, Devin, that
Climb.
defense is going to be nasty. Like I said, Alex Singleton is a great linebacker who only played like 5 games last year, I think. I think it was something low.
Yeah.
But bringing over Hufanga and Greenlaw from the Niners, having the reigning
Greenlaw's big. I like that.
having the reigning defensive player of the year, and they were first in sacks last season. And then another pro, just their line in general, they were third best in sacks allowed. So just their line across the board, amazing. What would be great is if they had a running back behind that amazing O-line.
Running back would be nice. A receiver would be nice.
Like to have an O-line to only give up, more sacks than 2 teams.
Yeah.
Maybe get a great running back over there. And
utilize your
you could really cook with that.
Spectacular O-line.
But no, they have a great defense. The defense is going to be fantastic. I'd say the only cons, really, like we said, no run game, and I mean,
just pick up J.K. and Gus.
It's
so weird that they've been packaged together on 2 teams.
Or one of them. Just pick
one
up
of
one of them. Pick up J.K. and
pick
let
up
him
JK.
cook behind that line. Now they still got Bo Nix. He's still a young quarterback. It's not.
Yeah.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I guess out of the pool of young quarterbacks, he's up there in terms of knowing how to win.
But yeah, no, it wasn't like he had a season where he wowed everybody like Jaden Daniels. He just, I think he handled everything pretty well. Like, kind of did what he was supposed to do. He put his team in a position to beat the Chiefs, except they just decided to get a field goal blocked.
And also, it's like, what were the true expectations going into last year for Bo Nix? I don't want to say they were crazy high.
No, there was nothing. Like it was just about Drake May level. It was like you're a late first round pick.
I mean, was it not like
you don't really expect much? Not late, early.
Was it not like, bro, you spent like 7 years in college? Like,
he was talked about as one of the, I guess, less talented and less impressive prospects, but one of the more pro-ready guys.
Okay.
When it comes to
pro-ready.
That was my thought on him, just because of the time he spent in the SEC, the time he spent
in Oregon,
just in college. In general,
I mean, it's like
compared to just playing at USC.
I mean, he played 80 more games than Anthony Richardson, probably.
At least.
At least.
AR played like 15 games in his fucking entire collegiate career, maybe. That's games he suited up for.
Go down. I was about to say, I don't think Bro started in 15 games.
Oh, he's so strong.
Their opponents, they got Dallas. This is all at home. Dallas, Jacksonville, the Giants, Tennessee, Cincinnati, and Green Bay. Away, they are going to Houston, Indianapolis, Philly, Washington, and the New York Jets. Not the craziest schedule. Green Bay coming to Denver, Cincinnati coming to Denver. That might be a problem, but Jacksonville, the Giants, Tennessee coming to Denver. They get to go play the Colts, which might be a walk in the park. Maybe the Jets, but then they got to go to Washington, Philly, and Houston. I have no clue how good Houston's going to be next year, but
no,
I'm not writing them off, especially, Houston versus Denver. I mean, that's a good game in my eyes.
Yeah.
1 out of 10. Because I do think it's at least a 1.
No, of course. And I think with the Chargers, it was slightly above average.
But, if we're being completely honest, it's like, to me, 1.5 out of 10. It's a cool 15% chance.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
I'm going to go very high, actually.
It is. It's almost like 1.2.
Maybe if we just think in percentages. I've been thinking in, out of 10s.
Well, see, I've been thinking in percentage, or out of 10s and just making it the percentage.
Sure.
But no, I mean, To be complete, like I said, we're gonna be completely honest, completely transparent. It's probably like 1.2 to me. I would give it a 1.2. If you want to go lower, go for it.
I would honestly go higher.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you were thinking about giving, I almost said Oakland, Vegas, a 2%.
Yeah, but then I was like, okay, I wanted to give them something, but then I realized, truly,
2% is a lot.
it's 0.
Yes. I can go 2%. I was willing to go up to 5, but
Okay.
I think 2%.
Okay. So what? A whopping 1.75.
Spectacular.
1.75.
Works for me, pal.
1.75. So, okay. I mean, I don't know. It's just a 17% chance, 17.5% chance to make it to the playoffs for Denver. That seems reasonable.
Yes.
To me, I mean, that seems super reasonable.
Wait, no. I was saying 2%.
Oh,
but I'll go 2 out of 10. I'll go 20%.
Not 2 out of 10. Oh, well, a 2 out of 10 makes it 2%, or makes it. Oh, yeah, okay.
Makes it 20%.
That was my bad. See, okay. When you said when you said 2%,
yeah, I was getting myself confused.
I actually took 2% and took my 1.5 out of 10, and then confused the two.
With
but,
2.
So
that's totally fine. I mean, honestly, I think that's closer to what I think Denver has the potential to do. Like, I don't think they're going to make a Super Bowl by any means, but
okay, I'm going 1.5 out of 10.
Fine. Yes, 2.
2. So 1.75.
Yes.
17% chance.
Yes.
I like it. I'm not mad at it. So, okay, a 17.5% chance for the Denver Broncos to make it to the Super Bowl. A whopping 0% chance for the Raiders to make it to the Super Bowl. 91.5% chance for the Chiefs to make it back to the Super Bowl. And a 59.5% chance for the Chargers to make it to next year's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
No?
I'm not mad at it. I think once I'm curious to see when we do the other teams and how they rank up. I mean, I feel like it almost might be a perfect line of just the real lineup we would make.